Oh boy. I totally was just having a sneezing fit before. I think another one's going to come and I can't stop it. And
bless you.
Are you like preemptively blessing me?
Because then it'll just crawl back up and go away.
Oh, really? Whew, that's a little sneezy.
It's gone.
Oh, you think you did that? Okay, I appreciate it. It. What's happening, everybody? So it's Wednesday, Boss Up and List Day, blabbity, blabbity, blabbity. We have our all-day listing party on in the Boss Facebook group.
Wow, she's not asking me what that means right today. Today's not that kind of day.
Well, because the question is, I guess the question is, some people are saying, I saw somebody commented somewhere that they had like a bunch of stuff that they were ready to list, and now they're not sure if they should do it.
Go ahead and list it.
There's no indication. So, okay, I'm Katie. This is Vicky. There you go. Hello to anybody who's new. There's no indication that there's any reason you can't list new stuff. I would go ahead and list new stuff. As long as like the new version of the item specifics is present in your listing fields and everything, fill those in. There's no reason that I know of, that I've seen, that you can't list new items. So go ahead and do that if you want to.
Yeah, go ahead and list new items. See, here's the thing. I want to address this really quickly. First of all, we all know it's a cluster right now. It is. The reality is that calm down on calling concierge, right? Anchor stores, concierge, customer service. Because here's the thing. Every single person that is calling is getting a different answer. We're seeing, I don't know, I've seen at least 100 posts in our Facebook group, and then there are several more, lots of people calling. I'm getting private messages through YouTube. I'm getting private messages through Facebook. I'm getting private messages through Instagram. Dozens and dozens of people are making phone calls, and they're like, okay, so here's the situation. I talked to concierge and they said X. And then 2 seconds later, I get another message. I talked to concierge and they said X, and they are two entirely different things.
Well, X and X are kind of the same.
Well, okay, so Y. X, somebody said X, somebody said Y. Jerk. So here's the thing. I don't think anybody knows what's happening right now. eBay is absolutely aware of the issue. They are aware that there is a multitude of issues. Is it something that they're going to fix? That remains to be seen.
Yeah.
Part of what they're saying is that the rollout of the item specific changes was something that we were told about in our fall seller update. That is absolutely true. The changes in item specifics, them having a bazillion drop downs, whether you choose to fill them all in or not. Here's the thing. When you're doing a listing, you should be choosing as many of those that you're able to do, because it's just going to help you with SEO. So as you're doing new listings, dial in your listings and choose as many item specifics as possible. These are all good things. These are good changes for the platform. They're good changes for you. They're good changes for buyers to find items better. All of that stuff is good. What they did not anticipate, and I'm sure is just a programming error, not their first and certainly not their last.
Size-ageddon.
The issue is that your existing item specifics, specifically your sizes, did not translate over into this change. It is not saying that your sizes are all missing, because they're not. Some have transferred over and some have not. Depends on your category, depends on the item. I have found that in my shoes, they have disappeared entirely. Clothing, they're still there, but the reality is that the new size drop downs that they have created are not communicating with the old size drop down. So they did not integrate. And because they did not integrate, when buyers are searching for an item and they use that left-hand toggle field to dial down their search by size within a category, it's not grabbing any of those sizes. So your items are not visible in search that way. If a buyer puts, blue Nike shirt XL, and that's how they search, then your item will come up. If they're dialing it down by the left-hand toggle and they're looking for an extra large or a large, that way either up above or on the side, depending on how they search and whether they're on mobile or desktop, that is what is not being found.
Yeah.
So that's where the problem is. So obviously you need to edit your listings, because you want your listings to be seen by every buyer, no matter how they search.
Connie, you know it. Size does matter, guys. Size does matter. You heard it here first, okay? Well, and here's part of the problem. Well, one of my big problems, and I've talked about this many times before, it's that eBay has a very big messaging problem. And yes, we were told that item specifics were going to be changed. We were told that new item specific requirements were going to be added. And the reality is that probably a lot of the categories that people are saying there's issues with, like hard goods and different things like that, some of that just might be part of this. This is what was going to happen. And now you got to go in and add more item specifics. That might be the reality of it. And yes, we were told this was coming. Is the timing great? No.
Adding more item specifics is not the problem. Like we've said, when you go to relist your items, or you're going to edit your changes, or you're doing ending and sell similar, your older listings, great. It's great to go in and add all of that stuff. Yes, it's going to take you a little bit longer, but it's going to make your listing better. That's not the problem. The problem is the lack of communication between the two categories, and them not
right.
They should have just transferred over all the sizes that were already in your listings, right. and they have not done so. Well, so that's not working properly.
And the lack of communication with us, the sellers. So listen, in life in general, whether it's people, whether it's businesses, whatever it is, you can't expect perfection, because if you do, you're going to spend your whole life being disappointed over and over again. But what really matters is when things don't go according to plan, it's how a person or a company addresses that issue and moves forward. And I feel like that's where the really big fail is happening right now, beyond the fact that, if you do clothing, everything's all messed up. And so I want to go ahead and share the screen here real quick. Again, we're going back. We did the show last night, but we're still talking about this stuff. But here, so as of today, as of right now, I'm just going to show the screen, full screen there. As of right now, when you look at your selling
11:08,
your selling announcements, it still says, it's still this post that says resolved, and it was technical issues reported in Seller Hub. I'm going to go ahead and click on that. Let's see if it's been updated at all, because this is still the messaging. So listen, it's super important that there be one place where all sellers can go to see what's going on, to see what's happening. And so it's great. Put it in seller announcements, selling announcements. This is where we look at it. And now it's taking forever for that to open. I don't know why, but hopefully that will open. But it's basically still just saying it's resolved. It doesn't address any of the problem. And listen, if they're still working on something, because like Vicky said, some people are being told, don't do anything. Some people are being told you got to do it yourself. Some people are told we're fixing it. Some people are being told we're not fixing it. So there's so many different things going on. All right, let's see. Well, it's still, so now it's not saying resolved here anymore, but still it's not saying anything. It just says that they're working on fixing problems. No, well, they're not. And this was last edited this morning at 10:42. So basically they went back in this morning at 10:42 a.m. and they just rolled back to the initial thing. Well, okay, so now let's go over, and I'm going to show, this is something that was shared with us from Sandra. Now,
this is Julie's Julie's post on Instagram.
Right, and sorry, but I'm terrible following anyone on Instagram, so I got this from Sandra. And so I just want to point this out. Now, this is 54 minutes ago. This was actually this morning at some point. But this says, from product manager of item specific teams at eBay. Now I'm going to go back to my face here for a second. Listen, guys, why is anybody getting information directly from the item specifics team at eBay that is not being posted on our Seller Hub where those announcements are? Why is there information that's being shared on Instagram? And listen, I love that Julie's got this information. I love that she's sharing with us. Awesome. But you know what? I shouldn't have to go and be on social media and go find somebody who's had a conversation with somebody else, is giving them information that they share, when it should be in one central location. There's somebody at eBay that can give the answers, and it should be put in one central location. So going back to this, from product manager, item specifics team at eBay. And then it says, starting tomorrow, we're rolling out new features. The Seller Hub active listing pages aimed at helping sellers provide any missing required, blah, 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 whatever. That's not now. And from what I understand, whatever that third party thing is, isn't even working the way it's supposed to be. So whatever. And it says, for now, it will be editing one listing at a time. Great. In November, we'll introduce a bulk single flow on active listings page. So that's great. In November, halfway into fourth quarter, they'll give us a faster way to do it. So thanks for that. That works out really well. It says, my colleagues in structured data, the team that determines item specifics. and which ones are required or recommended. Tell me that the item specifics that became required today were announced in the previous communications. That's why I was asking if you saw that and understood that's coming, that today's change was coming. Or did it take you by surprise today, which is what I believe you are saying. The announcements include a link to a PDF that lists all categories and the new required item specifics. Okay.
There's a couple problems with that. So first of all, yes, you did tell us the item specifics were changing. And that, again, is not the problem. We know that we're going to have to go in and edit listings and change listings as we make new listings. There is no way in hell that they told everyone that these new changes were going to cripple every single person's listings in several categories, not just clothing and shoes. It's affecting hard goods, I'm hearing. It's affecting lots of categories to the point where they're invisible in search, cannot be relisted, right smack dab in the middle of the fourth quarter. It's not as though you're saying, hey, we've added new drop downs and make sure you're putting them in your listings when you're creating new listings or when you relist your older listings. That is as we understood it, and that is the way that it made sense.
Well, and what frustrates me about this messaging is what I'm saying is it feels like, okay, so first of all, that information is not on the Seller Hub. It's being given out on Instagram. But it's basically like they're saying, hey, we told you this was going to happen. What's the big deal? Like, I guess you didn't know. And it's like, so let's go ahead. I'm going to go share the page again. Let's go ahead and look at, so this is where the fall seller update, where it says, you know, what's going to be changing, blah, blah, blah. So I have specifics updates that help buyers find your listing. Great. Affected categories. So this is the PDF that person was referring to. So here's this huge PDF that tells you all these different categories that it's going to be affecting.
So you should read this, know this, and understand this line by line, just so you know.
Okay, so fair enough. So they're showing all this clothing, whatever. So here's all the clothing categories. Now you can see it's super, super, super tiny, but I'll tell you right now, in all these clothing categories, size is one of the required categories. Okay, so you got to have size in there.
But we already know that sizes are required.
Exactly. So here's the issue. I have size in every single listing of mine. So telling me that it's going to be required, I've already got that in all my listings. I mean, I assume it was required before. Let's just say, for the sake of what we're saying right now, let's say that it wasn't a required thing before.
It was.
I know, but let's just say it wasn't. I had it in all my listings. I had it in all 2,223 listings of mine. I had size in my listings. So I was already prepared within my clothing categories for size to be a required listing in this new rollout, even though it was already required. Got that already. Okay, so now are they trying to tell us that the size thing was planned? That I don't buy that. So let me just show you. I'm going to go ahead. I'm loving the screen shares today. I just got to tell you. So if you go,
make it bigger. Remember, some people can't see this.
It is bigger.
Okay.
It's as big as it can be. So these are my listings. So I've got 2,231 listings. I'm going to go ahead and click on this right here. And I'm going to drill down into, this is eBay. This is not my store. This is eBay's categories. So I'm going to go ahead and click on men's t-shirts. Okay. So right here, it says I have 988 results in t-shirts. So I'm going to scroll down here. Here's where it has this is where you can filter by size. I'm going to go ahead and click on see all. Okay. So here's where all of my listings are, and 492 of them say not specified. So that's where the problem is. So these are all missing those items. Okay. So now this is where I say, okay, so what is the deal? So don't tell me this is planned, because let me click on, I'm going to go ahead and drill down to large, because this says I have 307 t-shirts that are showing that they have the large specification as required in the new rollout. So we're going to go ahead and apply that. Now, the reason I'm choosing large is because yesterday, if you guys were watching the video, I did try to edit some of my small and medium t-shirts, but I have not. I repeat, I have not touched any of my large t-shirts at all. Okay, guys? So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to open this one up right here. And I'm going to go ahead and revise my item just to go ahead so I can see what's going on inside it. So again, this is a large. I did not edit this myself at all. I'm going to scroll on down. What do you know? Size says large right there in the size category. And I'm going to go ahead and scroll on down. Bam, here is the size with the remove on it. So this is my original entry of large. And what happened when they switched all these categories around, they moved down my large into the additional. And in this particular one, guess what? It did move over.
So
I didn't
some
do
work,
that.
some don't.
So are you telling me that eBay purposely decided to just port some over and some not? So that's the problem, is that we don't even know and nobody's telling us.
And you don't know which ones have been affected. So people are talking about going in and bulk editing. We tried to do some bulk editing last night. It's working in some categories, not working in others. You're getting the red flag in some, not in others. Right now, there are really no answers. And that's the biggest problem.
Yeah. Well, that's part of the other problem, is that when I was doing this last night on the show, you guys, and I was showing how bulk editing, like, listings, and it was showing up all the red flags. Well, my understanding is that today those red flags are no longer showing up, but the listings are still missing those attributes. Well, that's problematic, because now, last night my game plan was like, okay, I'm going to roll up my sleeves, going to go in, and I'm going to fix all those listings, and I'm going to do it in the bulk editor because I'll be able to see all the red flags. Well, if those red flags aren't there anymore, then I don't even know what to do. And so hopefully,
and that leaves you with the only option you have is going into every single listing one at a time and looking to see
right what's there
and what isn't there.
What's there, what's not there. So,
and that's not a feasible option for anybody that has more than a couple of hundred listings. It shouldn't even be an option for someone that only has a couple hundred listings. Yeah, that's a problem. This is a big problem. I haven't even begun to look at mine yet.
Yeah.
I will say that there's someone mentioned in the chat. Let me look real quick. Is the information not, let me see. It was Enrique, I think, mentioned when you go to edit an item and then you go to save it, it's asking you for the UPC. That's always been a thing that they've always asked for the UPC for the last several years. And you always put does not apply, especially on used items or something that doesn't have a UPC code, mostly clothing, right? It no longer has does not apply as an option. I was able to type it in, but I need to type that into every listing now as well and save that because I don't know what's happening.
Yeah.
No, I have not sold anything yet today. I don't know if anyone else has.
Right. It's frustrating. And then here's another thing that I noticed today. Now, again, I know I'm only showing clothes just because that's what I sell in. But obviously there's issues kind of across the board. And it'd be nice if they would just tell us what the deal is. But so I'm going to go back to that thing. Here's all those t-shirts again at 988 or whatever. And there's 492 that say, or they're not specified. So my whole thing was like, okay, well, I guess if there's no red flags, I could go into here and then at least I know these are the ones that need to be edited, right?
In that one category.
Right, of course. Hear me out because it gets even better. So I've got all these listings. These are supposedly the ones that are not going to be going to have those item specifics in them. But here's the thing. Last night I had fixed like some smalls, right? So I'm going to go down. I'm going to find me a small here real quick.
Well, you're going too fast. I can't.
Well,
so you can find it yourself.
I can see it. Well, because that's kind of the point. Is I'm going to go ahead, see if I can find one. Actually, because this is what I saw earlier, and I just want to show you guys because. Come on. Go ahead and look and see if there's any other questions.
I see medium.
Well, I know, but I don't. I know I finished all the smalls. That's why I want to look at smalls. So I'm going to find one.
So some of the questions. Oh, I see my friend Susan Rodriguez popped in the chat. First time in the chat. Hi, Susan.
Hi.
She used to be my neighbor here in Vegas and has moved to the Pacific Northwest. She asked if it's only clothing and shoes. As of right now, I've only noticed it in clothing and shoes, but there have been several reports of it being in lots of other categories as well.
Right. And that's where the whole information thing, it gets a little bit frustrating because different people are talking about different things. And the reality is as far as I know, they have implemented or launched all these new item specifics across the board. So yes, every category is going to have all these additional item specifics. The real question is every category now affected with required item specifics that are causing real bad issues, which because you need to have the required ones filled out. And so far, as far as I know, clothing and shoes is what I've heard so far, that there are
home categories, backpacks, purses.
But notice what?
But here's the thing. Yes, there are going to be changes in all of these categories. That is what we were told was going to happen. There were going to be changes in item specifics. What I need to know, or what we need to know, has it changed the fact that you're unable to search by the toggle down on the side?
I mean, that's Liz O'Kane.
That's the problem.
Liz O'Kane, you say home category also. What does that mean? Are you saying that there are missing required item specifics in home categories, or just that they now have a bazillion extra additional item specifics? Because that's what I really want to know. Because as far as I know, 100% of categories probably have additional item specifics, but not necessarily required, that are now blank, that are going to screw up everything. So I'll ask Liz.
And a lot of the item specifics are ridiculous. Like Kara just said, listed a bathroom rug and one choice was dishwasher safe. Really?
Yeah.
I mean, when you start dialing things down that much, some of these item specifics are just not even going to make sense.
Okay. Okay. Let me show you this now. So if you guys remember, if any of you were watching last night, this particular t-shirt was one of the ones that I went in and fixed. So as I just did, this is supposedly one that is, that the size is not fixed. Okay. It says it's not fixed. So let's go ahead and look at it. And so I'm like, oh, this one isn't fixed. I got to go ahead and fix it. So I'm going to go ahead and open this up, revise it. Let's scroll down. It's there, guys, because I fixed it last night. The small is there. So even though this one has the size specific that is required, it's in there, it is still showing up as not being specified. So that is just me saying,
Brenda Merkel said that everything she fixed last night is not fixed today.
Okay. So
I just don't even.
So, and I fixed this one, and it is fixed in the listing, but it's not helping in the cat's crying.
And the cat's crying. Even the cat is crying. I'm going to go get the kitty cat.
Yeah.
Come here.
So yeah, so I don't know what the issue is. And Sunny's saying some stuff about, but again, Sunny, the problem is the stuff you're telling us is stuff that you heard from somebody on the phone at eBay, and other people are saying different things. And that's the whole issue, is that I would love to be able to take what you're saying and say, oh, here's the problem, and here's why it's happening, and here's how I do it differently. But the only problem with that is that somebody else might say it completely different. So it's like, we can't possibly know if the person that you talked to that gave you that information is actually giving accurate information. And that's the issue. That's the whole problem, is that we need to have everything in one location telling us here it is going forward. All of these, I need to know, okay, all of the added item specifics, they're here to stay. All the issues with sizes are going to be fixed by eBay, or they're not going to be fixed by eBay. Either we need to sit tight and they're eventually going to be fixed in the next 24 hours, or they're not going to be fixed in the next 24 hours. And now you have to fix them. What's up, kitty cat? That cat is
purring. Her purring?
Yeah, she's really purring a lot. So that's the issue, is that, like, this listing I just showed, it's fixed on my end, but it's still.
So Kane says, nothing I fixed saved an eBay system error, wiped out hours of my work. Oh, God.
Yeah.
So guys, we really don't have any answers for you, is really what this is. We didn't have any answers last night. We don't have any answers now. And this is more of a make you aware of everything that's happening. And I don't even know what to say.
Yeah.
And yes, I do like the kitty. I like her because she doesn't have fur and she doesn't make me sneeze and make my eyes swell up.
See, and now Gail Dodier, sorry if I'm messing up your name, said I just called and the rep said not to fix them and give eBay 24 hours and should be fixed. Listen, and I appreciate that. And if that's the case, would love it. But first of all, is that specifically talking about the sizes? And again, why is there a rep giving that answer and yet it's not on the effing screen where everybody is supposed, like, it's not, like, I just don't understand. Like,
communication is not that difficult.
Like, I totally get that.
And every rep is telling something different because they don't know either. And that's unfortunate. If there's a situation happening and they realize that hundreds and thousands of sellers are affected and every phone call that's coming in has something to do with this, then don't you think they could send out a memo to every single rep and say, this is the script, this is what's happening?
Yeah.
I mean, that's a very basic customer service skill.
Right. So So I guess, hopefully they will come out with some sort of message today. And I'm just going to say, like, eBay, I'm begging you. I'm begging you, have one answer and post it in one place, because just telling us, having a thing that just says technical issues reported and we're working on it is not an answer, especially if you have people on the phones giving different answers. I saw somebody else wrote that they were told, oh, you have to go into the classics view and then you'll be able to see which thing. Like, what? No. Like, that's a totally different answer. And a totally different thing. And is that really, like, it's just super, super frustrating. Greg says that's been an issue for years. Every rep has a different answer, but there's no reason for that. Listen, there is a specific team. There's one team that's working on item specifics. There is a team. There's no reason why that team can't talk to the person who writes the blog post,
who writes
that. They can't totally say
the Kermit the Frog angry typing meme there.
There's no reason why there cannot be a central message that is being given out. Absolutely no reason. And there should never be concierge or customer service or anybody giving answers that are more detailed than what the official announcement is for eBay. Like, I don't know. It's just really frustrating. So, man, that cat is like, you got a motor on you. This cat really likes to rub on hats too. See? You're cute. So
I know there's been a lot of chat in there, and we have a lot of people watching live right now. We really just don't have any better answers for you. I just know that there is a lot of speculation going around, and people are making posts every time that they speak to eBay, and there's nothing wrong with that. It's just that every single post is different because every single person is getting a different answer. So there is no right answer yet until we hear something officially from eBay directly, whether it be through Harry Temkin, who is supposed to be updating Teresa T Money at some point. She posted that, honey.
Did she? Okay.
Yes, don't hit me.
I'm gonna hit you.
She posted it that she would be talking. She told everybody to stop revising listings for the moment until she hears official word from Harry.
But Harry, for the love of all that is holy, Harry.
Yeah, we're not mad at you, Harry.
Harry, listen, please just have whoever it is that's in charge of the selling announcements on Seller Hub have that post in the eBay community revised. So whatever it is that whatever is the official thing, it should be there in detail, because it's really tough. Because here's the thing, not everybody is reliant on their eBay income, but a lot of us are reliant on our eBay income. And so when
you lose several hours and several $100s a day, that's a problem.
It is. And
or the people that have much bigger stores than us and are losing thousands a day right now. That's a problem.
And I'm the kind of person where, I do try to take a positive stance on things. And my mind immediately, when there's a problem, I'm like Vanilla Ice. Okay. There's a problem. You'll all solve it. Yeah. I just totally wrapped that out too. It's super awesome. You shut your mouth. I want to solve the problem. My way of dealing with issues is I want to get to work on them. I want to roll up my sleeves. I want to get to work on them. The problem is right now, I don't have a clear path of how I can get to work on them. And so, somebody made a really...
The cat is reading the chat. She might be. She's blind. She's deaf as a doornail, but she's not blind.
So Vandy's Closet says this is a good lesson for diversification. And if you saw the title of today's show, it talks about like taking control. And that's the thing, when something like this happens, what's really frustrating about it is that we don't have any control. And, like I said, like I like to be able to try to solve things. I want that sense of control. And so I go out and I find it. And so like last year when, the picture debacle happened, my way of handling that, and I've said this before, is it motivated me to finally buckle down and commit to Etsy, to listing on Etsy. And it was such a motivator because of that, because I lost my confidence at the time in what was happening on eBay because it was such a mess up. It really pushed me to commit to Etsy. And here I am over a year later, and I'm bringing in some decent money on Etsy. And yesterday, my only sales were on Etsy. And the day before that, Etsy had more than twice as many sales as eBay. So I do think that this tells me that I need to put more work into diversifying more. And so like, I've talked about focusing more on building up Instagram. You've been doing the List Perfectly thing. And so maybe, I don't know, you need to buckle down and do some serious cross posting over to Mercari today.
I know there's some people that are saying, holding off on listing today. I will be listing today. I think creating the new listings is not the problem. I think the problem is with our existing listings. So I have to do something. I can't waste another day like I did yesterday. There
really is no indication that new listings will have any problem as long as as long as that your listing form has the new version of the item specifics and you're filling in those required fields. There shouldn't be any problem with that. I haven't heard a single word from anybody about new listings having any kind of issues.
The UPC issue is an issue. The UPC dropdown that you have to now type in does not apply is a problem because there's no dropdown. Mo said, Waste Not, Want Not said that she was able to check it on the mobile app. I don't use the mobile app to list. I hate it. I can't even imagine what even more of a pain in the ass this is going to be. That to start a listing on desktop and now go finish it on mobile, that's ridiculous.
Yeah. So, Renegades of Junk says eBay's got to stop with the tinkering. And a lot of people are saying that, but the reality, I mean, you have any kind of tech company, any website is going to be constantly changing and making changes,
on a platform that was built in 1996. That is the problem.
So there's no world that we're going to live in where we're going to sell on a platform that's not making changes, and eBay's included in that. It does feel like it seems to be a common issue that happens again and again and again, that when they do make changes, it's like somehow they don't foresee the impact and other problems that it creates, like the case in point, the pictures. I mean, that was because they made some changes and they didn't intend to get rid of people's pictures, but it happened. And it just feels like, I don't know. It's like I sell on other platforms, and I'm sorry, but I've never had issues on Etsy, and they've made changes. They've changed how they do their managed payments while I've been selling on there. They've changed how they do their item specifics. They've changed how they do their shipping. They changed how they do their advertising. They've made a lot of changes over the last year and a half that I've really been working on a lot. And honestly, guys, I've never seen it affect my listings. I've never had a problem with it. It's never caused issues. I mean, they had like a security breach like a couple of years ago or whatever, where issues. So, everybody's got their problems, but I don't know what the deal. I don't know what the problem is, guys. I don't know.
This is Q4. This is when we should be killing it right now. And unfortunately, this is instead killing our business and killing our time that we should be listing and sourcing. And I don't even have any other words. I am just so frustrated. I was in tears last night. I didn't sleep last night. I don't really know what to say. This very much, someone said in the chat, a few people said in the chat, this is absolutely exactly the same type of thing that happened when the photos were missing. All the different answers. Nobody gave a straight answer. eBay ignored the issue, didn't really get back to us. And then about a week later said, yeah, sorry, it's on you. You got to figure it out. And I have a feeling that is exactly what's going to happen this time. So I don't know what to say.
Yeah. So Susan says, doing t-shirts now and the new item specifics not on there. What are you doing it as a sell similar from another listing? Are you doing it as a brand new listing? I'm not really sure what to tell you. I can't see your screen or anything, so I don't know. And somebody else made a comment that I thought was good, and it's true. Candle Hoarder says, I always say there's a trade-off for everything, and that is true, because the reality is, that I could say Etsy's more stable and it's really been great for me, but eBay's
a much smaller platform.
But eBay is where I bring in the most of my income. eBay has the biggest audience, and so overall, like, I have more success.
Susan said she just went into her current listings to fix.
So overall. eBay's where I bring in the most revenue. So yeah, there is a trade-off, because it's like you are kind of tied to this platform. And I don't want to leave eBay at all. And I don't plan to leave eBay. I do hope.
I'm not going to throw
that they will-
$150,000 a year business away over 1 week of fuck ups.
No.
But that doesn't mean that it is not a problem. It doesn't mean that it's not a serious problem. And it doesn't mean that it is not going to cost me a lot of money and a lot of time to fix, along with everyone else. And I realize that I'm complaining about myself because clearly I am most concerned with my business. Yes, that's life. This is my business. This is my livelihood. But I'm just as concerned for everyone else, especially people that have much larger stores than I do, or have multi-variation listings. I don't even know what those look like right now and what that has happened. What has happened there? I mean, there's a gentleman, Adam, who's in the Boss Facebook group. He sells only clothing and has over 7,000 listings. I don't even know where to begin. 7,000 listings or more. I mean, for me, that I have no words. I feel terrible. He has employees that work for him, and then it's just going to get, it's going to be difficult. Now you're going to have to pay employees to help you fix things. There's an awful lot of money that is involved with larger stores.
So I guess my biggest thing is just like, I just really hope that, I know there's a lot of changes going on in the last year as far as the leadership of the company. I just really hope that somebody will listen and see that, like, listen, we need better communication. We need somebody talking to us. There's nobody right now that's part of the seller team or on the seller side of things that is really leading the charge in any significant or meaningful way to make sure that we are informed, to talking to us. And you said that eBay is aware of all the issues. Honestly, I'm not entirely confident that they are necessarily, because there's nobody that really listens to the sellers, those of us who are quote unquote out in the trenches, and can actually see what the problems are and how they are specifically affecting sellers. And so I guess my hope is that, with this new leadership that is coming in, what's his name, Jordan and
Jordan Sweden,
and with Harry, who's been stepping up over the last several months, my hope is that they're going to see this and go, oh, okay, we kind of are getting it now. That communication is super, super important. We hopefully in the future, big mess ups like this aren't going to happen again. But there's always going to be times when problems are going to arise, when there's going to be mistakes, when there's going to be glitches. My biggest concern is, like, can you please just communicate with us? Please just give us one stream of communication. Don't, having these conversations with quote unquote influencers. I don't know why I keep saying quote unquote influencers out in the community. But not directly speaking to the community as a whole, I think is problematic. Unless you're going to have one thread or one thing that you say to everybody, it's kind of worthless because we don't know, like, there's so many different people out in the community, and how do you decide who you trust or who you don't trust?
Being up high.
Or who's good at I mean, sometimes it's just a matter of a game of telephone where it's like, I don't know that they're good at taking in information and then putting it out to the rest of us. I mean, screenshots are nice because that's helpful. So Vandy's Closet just gave us a $20 super chat and said, have a drink on me.
Is it noon yet? It's almost noon. It's 12 o'clock somewhere. It's supposed to be 5 o'clock. I think 12 o'clock's valid. I think I'm just going to go back to taking pictures today. I don't know
what do you think the good Lord created mimosas and Bloody Marys for? If we were all going to be waiting around till 5 o'clock to start drinking, people.
I'll be asleep in half an hour. I can't drink, but I appreciate the sentiment.
Yeah, we really appreciate it. But listen, so as far as like the whole taking control thing goes, again, I guess the bottom line of what I'm trying to say is work on the things you can control right now. I know this is like super scary. There's got to be some other things you can be working on, like taking pictures, maybe doing some cross postings to other platforms. If there's another platform that you've been wanting to jump on board with, but you've been putting it off, maybe today's the day that you buckle down and you really commit to that and start working on it. There's lots of ways that you can be making changes to your business and improving it, where when this all shakes out and things get back to normal on eBay, you'll be in a better position because you will be building something at the same time somewhere else that's going to add to your bottom line. So with that said, do you remember a few weeks ago when we had one Rachel Pantarelli on the show?
Why are you making such weird faces saying her name? Yeah, so a few weeks ago we had our friend Rachel on, who happened to just move here from Rhode Island to Las Vegas, and she talked to us about cross-promoting and promoting yourself and marketing and branding yourself. So we had this whole show about marketing and branding. And because of that show, she actually did some marketing and branding for a few of our boss Facebook group members, a few of our sellers. And she's still taking clients, by the way. But we wanted to show you 2 clients that took advantage of her her branding and marketing for resellers, and they said they would let us share their information about it. They were really pleased with the results, and we wanted to show you.
We wanted to share. So, so if you guys remember, if you saw, she had put together this really cool reseller package because she just moved here and she's building her business. And I was like, why don't you create some sort of reseller thing, and then we'll have you on the show and talk to you. And so she put together this really cool package, and she made it super affordable. And she priced it at $395, and then she said first 5 to sign up receive $50 off. I know we're sharing a couple now. A few other people had taken advantage of it as well. But she did say that she actually has room to do 2 more if there's anybody else that is interested. And I did provide the links down below. But I wanted to go ahead and show. So there's a few things that she basically did. She was creating logos. She was creating the different banners that you need depending on what platforms you're on. And she also worked on reworking people's bios and writing bios for them. So I'm going to start with, I think it was, Revive Flips. So Revive Flips, this is Susan. She signed up for this. She took advantage of this package. And so she, the way Rachel works is she, has a conversation with the client, figures out like kind of what their vibe is, what they're looking for. And, it just comes up with a really basic logo. She's not really, she doesn't call herself a graphic designer. And so her logos, she goes for, it's basic, it's something affordable. And so I think this is a really cool, this ended up being like her final logo for Revived Flips. And then she worked on a before and after. This is like the before bio that Susan had for Revived Flips. And then this is what Rachel came up with. So you can see, I'll leave it up here for a minute. You can see kind of, how she takes what somebody already has kind of written for themselves and crafts it into a more professional, more succinct, I guess, moving way of describing somebody through their bio. And so let's see, I think I had this. There it is. Okay. So I can go through this and you can see, so this is an eBay shop banner. So that's the thing. It's like, you can have a logo, but you need to be able to put it into the different requirements for the different platforms. So this is for an eBay shop banner. This one's for an Etsy big shop banner. So, it might seem like not a big deal, but you can see it's like different size requirements. And then Poshmark, Poshmark's all on the phone. So here's like the little banner that goes on your Poshmark thing. So I think it's really super cool. I think it's pretty awesome. So I also wanted us to be able to show, we asked her to show us one where it's actually been put into action, so we can see what that looks like. And so this is Karen, a lot of whatnot. And so this is actually her eBay store. So you can see this is the logo that Rachel came up with.
I love this one.
I know it's really,
I
really
like
cool.
The other one a lot, but I love this one because I like the whole mid-century look, and I think that's so funky.
Yeah, it's really, really cool. So I know that when Rachel had talked to Karen was really into mid-century modern look, and I think she might have done this one in like red or something like that. And then Karen really liked a green version of it, and so this is what they ended up on. So it's definitely kind of going back and forth and figuring out like what it is that you really want. And so you see how the logo is here, and then how it was put into a banner at the top. I think this looks super awesome. And then she has her bio here that Rachel also worked on. So it's very, very cool. I think it looks great. Yeah. And it looks, so I think it's super, super nice. So again, we wanted to show you guys, kind of do a follow-up of, here are a couple of the people who took advantage of that package when Rachel was on the show, and they are super, super happy with what they ended up with. And like we said, if you are interested at all in maybe putting some work into upping your game across the different platforms and social media, she says she still does have a couple spots left with the $50 off price. So it'd be like $345, I guess, to have this done. So the information,
and she will create, if this does not work for what you're looking for, she can create a package to work with what you're looking for as well.
Yeah,
this is
for
just
sure.
a suggestion. She did also redo an entire website for someone, and it wasn't what they needed in this
Right.
package here, but it said they needed something different. So she created a package for them. So if you're interested in changing your logo or creating a logo and branding yourself and putting yourself across platforms, then this would be a good step.
Yeah,
reach out and talk to her about what you're looking for.
Yeah, for sure. So, yeah, Aisha says, would love for you guys to do a meet and greet with Rachel at your house. I don't know. I mean, at some point, maybe we will have her come to one of our meetups.
Yeah,
to show what she could do, and if there's any, that I think we already have a topic for.
We do have a topic for this month, but maybe next month or the following month. Sure.
Yeah, and be a good way to at least even just to give a talk about branding and stuff like that.
And yes, she does do other themes that are non-reselling related. Her background is in marketing and branding in general. She has over 20 years experience in marketing. This is just a new niche that she's been working in within the reseller community. So yeah,
she does this kind of thing. Her focus is like kind of small businesses, because her whole thing is, you don't have to be a big corporation or a multi-billion-dollar company or million-dollar company to have branding, because a lot of times smaller businesses will think like, oh, that's way too expensive, or there's no way that I could do something like that. And so her focus is really on smaller businesses, and so she works with all kinds of different businesses. It's just that obviously we work in the reseller community, so we were like, hey, could you come up with some sort of like reseller package that's more geared towards that? So
because we knew people have asked for this and are looking for it. So yeah.
She does all kinds, and she does all kinds of stuff. And she even does stuff like, you can hire her to run your social media and do like weekly posts. And, there's all kinds of services that she provides. This is just a specific kind of small contained reseller package that just includes like logo and bio and stuff like that. So it's pretty cool. Anyway, so I guess that's some happy stuff to talk about. That's something you can be doing to work on your businesses and stuff like that. So I guess, I don't know. I really hate like sitting back and like waiting for something to be fixed. It's not in my nature. I don't like doing it.
It doesn't feel good. And right now I think I'm just going to go and take some more photos. Dana was supposed to be coming to work today, and she had a family emergency. So
yeah, so
she will not be here to take some photos, and I still have some that need to be done. So I guess that's where the remainder of my day is going to go, is taking photos. And I have a call later. I have a call at 3:00 for the Seller Diversity team.
Yeah.
So
awesome. And I guess, I really wanted to work on fixing my things. I guess I'm going to, there's supposed to be some more information coming out later this day. So I am going to hang tight, as much as I hate to do that. I do have some stuff that I can be listing new. So I'm just going to go ahead and work on doing my listings and being frustrated over here. If you're not in the Boss Facebook group, you should go ahead and join it. We do make announcements there. We will try to update people. We'll try to update down in the description of this video. If it's big enough news or whatever, maybe we'll do another video. I don't know. We're just really trying to keep people updated on what's happening and make sure that what the, I guess, official, but it's like, I don't want to be we don't want to be the mouthpiece for the official word. We want the official word to be out there in a public place where everybody can look at it. So I would love to be able to do another video where we provide you guys a link that says, hey, here's where you go, where you can get it straight from eBay, and here's what the information is. Hopefully that's not too much to ask for. It probably is. But anyway, so I don't know, guys.
I got no other words, so
I don't know what to tell you, other than, do the things that you can do, take control of your situation as much as you can right now, do all that stuff that you've been putting off for a long time, and then keep yourself informed, and try not to get too bogged down by being overwhelmed and feeling hopeless, even though I know that can get the best of any of us. So I guess that's the only advice that I can give to you.
Yeah, the listing, they do have someone just said they have a new announcement in Seller Hub. It's the same one that we showed earlier in the show. It does not say resolved anymore. That's
the thing. I don't think that they changed the wording at all. They just basically, they took away the resolved, which is which sucks because it's like not helpful. But yeah, so hopefully we're going to be hearing some more information soon. But Maui Delights, you are delightful. And someday I will meet you in person. I will tell you that to your face. Damn it. But Maui Delights just gave a $5 super chat. Said, thank you for the info. I appreciate you both so much. Well, we appreciate you, Maui, and your cute dog who's in your picture that we can see there down below. But I'll give you a little super chat. Say super chat. Yow. Does anybody have any other questions? We got a little bit of time. Citizen Styles, I just did the super chat song.
He typed it right before you did it.
You shut your mouth.
Relax yourself.
We still have a few more minutes left. So does anybody have any other questions for today? It's our business show. Any other questions that you could use some help on? Jen Lee says, wanted to thank you guys again for going live last night and taking your time to talk us all down off a ledge. I mean, I'm
not so sure we talked you off the ledge. I'm just saying that I'm out on the ledge with you is all I'm saying.
Yeah, that's honestly, and really it was just all about, I really wanted to make sure that people knew. I mean, I thought last night that there was a way forward to fixing things. Apparently not. I was incorrect, but I was still trying to be hopeful.
She was trying to be poly positive last night as I was Nelly negative.
Well,
or Debbie Downer, or whatever you want to call me.
I want to be proactive. I want to be able to do something. I'm a woman of action, people. I want to be able to do something. But Corey, my favorite Corey 111815. Babe, Jesus got it wrong on all the Corys before. Spelled that way. Spelled specifically that way. But Corey, I appreciate your super chat for $9.99. I'm sorry to all the other 111,814 Corys where, sorry, Babe Jesus just got you all wrong. Did it right with Corey 111815. So appreciate you. And thanks for the super chat.
You guys are just nuts. Recommendations for a taco place. Go right over to Kim's question there. In town visiting. Love you guys. Need a recommendation for a great taco place. Well, hey, Kim, welcome to Vegas. I hope you're having a good little vacation. We love Taco y Taco. It's Taco Y Taco on Eastern.
Why tacos? Well, because tacos are amazing.
That's probably our biggest recommendation. When we have reseller friends come to town, that's where we take them. When we have any friends come to town, frankly, that's where we take them. But there are lots of great taco places here. That just happens to be one of our favorites. Yeah, that would be our recommendation.
That would be our recommendation. So I'm trying to find it. There was a really awesome comment that made me happy, despite all the debacle and whatnot. But are there any other questions in there?
Let's see. Someone else gave the name for the Facebook group. It is below. It is also below. So
So Sunny says, what's the next best platform to sell on? Mercari? I mean, it depends on what you're selling. I mean, probably, overall, as far as being able to make gobs and gobs of money, Amazon's probably the best platform. If you are somebody who likes to do Amazon and likes to do retail arbitrage and likes to do wholesale or likes to do private labels, Amazon's where it's at to make the money. I have no interest in that, and I don't sell the type of stuff that I can sell on Amazon, so that doesn't work for me. I really do like Etsy. Honestly, like Etsy, if I had as many items in my Etsy store as I do on eBay, and right now I just have half, I would be making, based on what I'm making now, I would be making like a full-time income just from Etsy. So I really like Etsy for that. Some people say Poshmark is the best if you're selling shoes because of how they do their shipping and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. And then there's the whole thing of me trying to do Instagram. There are some people who are doing vintage streetwear on Instagram and making a killing there. So it's hard to say. And
Jamie, congrats. That's a great total. I'm right there with you. I mean, I'm a little over 10 for the last 30 days, which is where I like to be. It's really where I like to be, is around 10. I've been hovering around 8 or 9 the past few months. So that's pretty awesome.
44.12 away.
That's a great It's a great 30 days.
Yeah, she's beating me. Anyway.
No, Katie still has not made any sales. Did you sell anything yesterday? And nothing overnight yet?
Nothing. Yet. I made one sale today. A t-shirt for $27.99.
Susan's asking, what are we putting in size chart? I haven't even tried to go into a new listing yet, Susan, so I don't even know what size chart is. I'm sorry. I haven't even looked at it yet.
It doesn't, I don't even know what that means. So
I had sales yesterday and I've had a couple of sales today. Every one of my sales has been hard goods. And I had one vintage item sell. I have not had any clothing or shoe items sell. And I've had some sales on Etsy. So today I had one sale on eBay, and it was a doll. So
yeah. Jamie Brand has a burning question: will you be getting a Sphinx kitty now?
No. We don't have the time to have a cat all the time, and I love having her. I don't want to. We are keeping her separate from our dogs right now. I don't mind cat sitting. I think she's awesome. I actually would have never thought I would have said that about a cat, but I really like having her. She's really cute and sweet and cuddly. And we don't mind watching her for our friend. But full-time, no, I don't want a litter box. And our dogs don't really care for her.
Yeah.
We don't want the responsibility of another animal. But I don't mind watching her. I can borrow her.
My favorite comment from last night's video was from John Hoffman. He said, the fact that you two are adorable and super hilarious makes this catastrophe a little less painful. Thanks so much for the great video. I just thought that was funny.
Thanks, John. That made me smile.
I like to make people giggle when their life is crumbling around them in ruins. So you're welcome. What can I say?
Sandra says, but the question is, can I borrow the cat? Well, I don't know. Her mom's a little selfish. You've got a passel of kittens. I don't think you need to borrow the cat. You have all the kittens.
Shelf to pantry. Yes, Etsy does take taxes from the customer at the point of purchase. That's just a reality. You know,
every platform does.
One of the streetwear groups I'm in, there was a guy who was like losing his ever loving mind because I guess there was some streetwear thing he was buying for like $500, and he for some reason had gone and gotten a prepaid credit card with the exact amount that he needed to buy it, and then he went to buy it and there was like $50 in tax being added on, so he couldn't buy it with his card. And so he was really mad about it. But it's like, that's kind of the law now. Like all the platforms are doing that now. It's not eBay's fault and it's not Etsy's fault. They're just collecting tax now. So it is the reality of it. Rick Doran, thrift trader. Not Rick.
That's
Doran.
Jason.
Sorry, Jason. I don't know what.
Jason Pantsless Deason.
Yes, Jason Pantsless Deason. $5 super chat. So here's a teeny bit to compensate for the little sales. Should I wait to make any changes? Oh, dear Lord. I would say, Jason, at the very least.
Your guess is as good as mine.
At the very least, Jason, I would say wait. There's supposed to be more information coming out today. So I would say at the very least, wait a little bit. I'm
not going to make any changes today. That doesn't mean that I won't make changes tomorrow. So I mean. Yeah.
But while we've got Jason here, I do want to say congratulations.
I know. Did you just read his?
Because Jason has done what probably a lot of us kind of partially wish we could do, but partially don't want to do. But I don't know. He's opening up. They're opening up their own thrift store. Now, Jason does do a crazy amount of like storage units and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. So I think it really does make sense for him. I mean, I don't know what kind of, I think he said he's like right off of the highway. So like really good traffic area. So he's just got the keys to it and they're going to be selling out of the thrift store. I think that's super awesome. I'm really excited for you, Jason. I hope that it goes really well. I hope it goes just like how you want it.
And even if it doesn't, I give you a lot of props for having the balls to do it.
Yeah, just do it. It's
really
pretty cool.
It's a big deal. So
yeah,
congrats.
Because like I love the idea.
Just kill it.
That's one thing I like about, when I look at some of these, especially like streetwear and stuff like that. Like I'm like, I would love to have a place where people could come and sell me their stuff.
I know you haven't done it yet, but you signed you got the keys, right?
You got the keys, man.
That's close. You're getting there. You
showed a key in a picture, damn it. So I'm pretty sure you're doing it. All right. So I'm still excited for you, and I hope that's going to go really well. I mean, yeah. So the whole thing, like of me, I would love having people come to me and be like, "Here's my stuff. I want to sell it to you," and I get to just pick and choose. But then you'd have to be somewhere at specific times. I will say the other day, I got a message from Barry, aka Afro Vintage, and he was like, "Hey, just did a really big bulk buy. Thought I'd swing by and let you have first pick." And that was pretty awesome. I was forced to put some pants on, so that part sucked. But
True.
He drove up, opened up his trunk. I went through everything, and I was able to score like 20 items that are super, super awesome. And I'm like, hey, I could live like this all day long. You just bring it to me. Okay.
Isn't that
I felt like
I was going to say that's what Knight Requirefeld does.
I felt like I was pulling a Knight Requirefeld, and I was like, bring it to me, man. Just bring
me all your stuff.
Bring me all your stuff. And
somebody
then
just got a cha-ching. Woohoo!
What?
So yeah, so we're at 12 o'clock, and
right.
I see some people that are late coming into the chat asking what's going on. Just go back and watch from the beginning, or read from the beginning, or watch last night's, or hop on any Facebook group and
watch the panic ensue.
Read some messages.
Watch the madness continue.
On UPC does not apply is on new listings. I decided to still cross list. Yeah, I haven't really been able to do much. I haven't been able to do much at all, so I don't really know what's happening with all that stuff yet. Someone asked what is on my hat. This is Antique Archaeology, which is the show. It's one of the thrift stores in Nashville for American pickers. This is the one that I'm a big fan of, Danielle Colby, and this is from Allison, Big Thrift. BDT. No, I can't say it without that now. BDT. So Allison brought me this as a gift, so I love that.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome. And I always wear the hoodie that she sent me, much to your horror and disappointment.
Oh, Vandy's Closet said she meant the it is a drop down now on the new ones. Oh, okay, so they fixed that part anyway. That's something.
No, Allison's saying
that's something.
BDT.
Yep, Candace, I've started reading The Institute. I'm too tired to be reading at night lately, and I usually read every day, but I have started reading it. I'm like maybe 2-3 chapters in.
All right. So Lady Luck Junk says BDT. All right. So here's what I'm going to say, guys, as we go out here. Here's what I'm going to say. Okay. After the show, go find something breakable that you are okay with breaking. Find something breakable that you're okay with breaking. Okay. Take it outside somewhere where you can basically smash it into a million pieces. Okay. Maybe yell.
Are you saying I get to go do that? What can I?
Why are you looking at my office? I said something that you can break. Okay. Smash it. Smash into bazillion pieces. Maybe while yelling out, kind of like Khan and Wrath, kind of like Captain Kirk and Wrath of Khan, only go eBay, and then smash it on the ground.
All right.
And then go back inside and get to work.
Okay.
All right. That's how you get the anger out. You get the frustration out.
So
get your hand. Get what? That's my Gremlin snow globe. You're outrageous. Anyway, well, we got some extra coffee mugs that we don't need.
All right.
Anyway, goes.
See, Gretchen says my hubby has a few breakable items. Thanks for the idea. What I'm saying.
Kent says just yell, "Damn Devin."
Let's blame it all on Devin. He's gone.
Yeah, thanks, Devin. All right, guys. Thank you so much for hanging out with us again. Hey, sorry we didn't basically give you any answers whatsoever, or do anything to help you whatsoever today. But we appreciate the camaraderie. And do you want to go smash some stuff and then eat our feelings and then get to work?
Yeah, that's pretty much what's going to happen.
All right. Thanks, guys. We appreciate you. Bye.